Sponsored in part by DollarSeed.com for your flowers, vegetables, and herbs. All organic seeds, all only $1 a pack.
ManureTea.com, authentic Haven brand, 100% natural soil condition for the home garden. Squirrelman Worm Farm, organic farm and gardening supply, located in Plymouth, Wisconsin. SquirrelmanWormFarm.com.
LittleSpringsSoap.com, handmade soap with simple, recognizable ingredients. The Rain Sauce. Visit the WisconsinVegetableGardener.com and click on the Rain Saucer tab on the left-hand side of the page. Welcome to Wisconsin Vegetable Gardener Extra. I'm Joey Barrett. We're in the small garden today and we're going to be planting. We're going to be planting garlic. It's middle portions of October now and we're going to be planting garlic here, and it's going to stay here and grow over the winter, and we won't be harvesting it until late May, early June of next year. We're planting a Spanish Roja variety of garlic. Now, there's a certain way of planting garlic so you can be assured you'll get a harvest next year. So we went to our good friend Mark Brown. He is in the St. Louis, Missouri area. He plants a ton of garlic each year for the Garlic Fest in St. Louis, and we'll leave a link in the show notes below. Mark's known around the parts as the garlic guy, so there was no better person to go to than him when we're talking about planting successful garlic. We're going to plant a small portion here of our Spanish Roja garlic. Each row is going to contain 6 bulbs. We want to plant them 6 to 8 inches apart, and the rows between 12 and 18 inches apart based on how much space you have. We're going to pinch them down to about 12, 13 inches apart in the rows. So with that being said, we'll get 24 bulbs here, and we want to go about 1.5 inches to 2 inches maximum. Now the key to planting garlic and having a successful harvest in the spring is you don't over fertilize it in the fall. We want to plant it, get it established to about a 2 or 3 inch height in top green growth now, and then we'll come in and mulch it with leaves or straw, whatever you have available, and then we won't top dress it with fertilizer until the spring next year. So what we're going to do is we've allowed our garlic to soak in some manure tea to hydrate it properly, and then we'll get it in the ground. We've also got a couple gallons brewing here that we're going to put in our watering can and top dress the soil here, because Moo Poo Tea or manure tea is a soil conditioner and it'll really bring back the life to the soil. So I'm just going to drain what's off in this garlic right here. Now these have been soaking for about 24 hours, so these will be very hydrated and ready to go in the ground. So another key element to getting good bulbs in the spring is to start out with large cloves in the fall. You want to take your bulb of garlic and pick out the largest cloves around the outer perimeter, and anything small inside you want to just use for cooking. Now the garlic scape is where the seeds produce, and we've all seen garlic seeds, the little bulbs that come on in the spring or mid-spring, early summer. Those you don't want to plant. You can plant them, but they take 2 full years to reach maturity. You want to start with a good sized clove so you get a good sized bulb in the spring. So there's a correct way and a wrong way of planting these cloves. This is how the bulb would have grown before. That is the bottom portion. You can see the little circular where the roots will come out. You can see the tip here. That's going to be the top. So we want to put it in the ground with the roots going down. We purchased these from a local Wisconsin garlic grower. Now, you can purchase them from wherever you wish. You can also just get the garlic from your grocery store, and the rumor of the garlic being sprayed that it won't germinate is not true. A lot of that garlic you buy at the store does come from the Chinese or Japanese area, Asian portion of the world, but they will grow. But we wanted to get a good heirloom variety here from Wisconsin, but you can plant whatever you wish. So to get these planted here, we're just going to take and bottom down, top up, and we're just going to push them down to where the top of the garlic, where the top or that little tip of the garlic is about 1 inch, 1.5 inches from the top of the soil. And I'm going to plant all of these, and then I'll cover them over just so I can make sure I know where I'm at. I've spaced these about 6 to 8 inches apart. We've got good, loose, loomy soil here. I've worked this soil quite a bit, brought some more compost in to get this soil nice and loose, and that is also a key when growing garlic. It will grow in clay, and Mark Brown there in St. Louis, he grows a lot of garlic in clay and is very successful at it, but I want to give the garlic the best chance here, since I don't have clay soil, to grow the best. So it will grow in clay soil, but if you have good soil, that's even better. So we'll just get that one planted, and then I'll go through here and I'll mark this next row and we'll cover them up. All right, so we've got our seeds planted. We got 12 bulbs planted here, and we badly underguessed the space that we had available in our little plot here. So we've got 12 planted. I can get another one here, and I can get another 7 over there, so I can get 8 more closed, which we're going to cover these up and treat the soil with manure tea, get some more soaking, and in 24 hours we'll plant that row so we can have a very good, healthy stand of garlic. And again, when this garlic begins to come up, we'll let it come up about 2 to 3 inches on top growth, and we will then mulch it. So I've got it marked here with my window blind markers there. We've poured the manure tea in our watering can, and I'm just going to water on top. Even though we've got a lot of rain, I'm going to again condition the soil where we've got the garlic planted, and as well as where we're going to plant the garlic in 24 hours. Now, if you're wondering what's so great about Moo Poo Tea, well, there'll be a link in the show notes below explaining why this is so much more beneficial to your garden and your soil than traditional compost teas that are on the market. So it's that easy to plant garlic. If you know the tricks of the trade, you'll be very happy come next spring when it's time to harvest them. So it's time to harvest our shallots. Now, shallots are related to the onion. They grow a little different than the onion. You plant a bulb in the ground as the seed, and it produces multiple bulbs in a cluster. So when you plant these early in the spring, and we've got some planted here. Now these are organic shallots that we purchased about 3 years ago from our home and garden center. And what we've done is we've planted it year after year. When it's time to plant in the spring, we gather everything up that we haven't used in cooking, and we go ahead and throw it in the ground to get more shallots at the end of the year. So I've removed the weeds here, and there's a couple there. When we've pulled the weeds up, they've come up. They are very small, these, and it's based on the nutrition, the water, based on the variety as well. There's some very large shallots varieties also. They've died back, so we know it's time to harvest. So the best way that I have found is to use a garden fork. Now, we purchased this at a yard sale for $5. If you don't have one of these for your garden, it is an investment that's well worth it, whether you get it from a secondhand store or you buy it new. It works great for a lot of different applications. So we're going to start back here, and the soil is fairly loose. So we're just going to get up underneath it, and you can see the shallots. There's going to be some, that one's good. And we're just going to sort through and see how many we end up getting. They don't take much space to grow, and virtually maintenance free. It's a great plant to throw in a small area. They don't take up much space at all. There's some larger shallots there. Those came out good. And typically, if you're going to save these, you want to save the organic heirloom variety, and you want to plant the larger bulbs. Obviously, it's going to give you larger bulbs in return. But we went ahead and just planted anything and everything we had just to get it in the ground to see if we could get another harvest. Them are decent size. Those are a little bit smaller than a golf ball. These are about the size of a large marble, the big glass marbles that you are used to seeing. And once they've died back, they do make it a little more difficult to find. All right, so that looks like I've got all of the shallots harvested. We put them in this black tray here. Now this is the cluster I'm speaking about. We didn't get a whole lot here. We've got a good chunk at the small garden, but these are the clusters. You put one of these bulbs, you break them apart, and you put one of these in the ground, and you'll get, based on the conditions, you're going to get a cluster of 4, 5, sometimes 6, even 7 bulbs together. So shallots, it's an easy crop to grow. You just buy the sets, you buy the bulbs, and you can plant it pretty much anywhere you have some space. If you like what you see, feel free to subscribe and comment. We put out this particular video each and every Tuesday with a variety of other videos throughout the week. I'm Joy Barrett, and this has been a Wisconsin Vegetable Gardener Extra. For more organic gardening and food preserving, visit the WisconsinVegetableGardener.com.